அந்த கேரளத்தில் நமக்கெல்லாம் தெரியும், பல ஆண்டுகளாக மார்க்சிய, இஸ்லாமிய, கிறிஸ்தவ சக்திகள் ரொம்ப மேலோங்கி இருக்காங்க. அவர்களுடைய ஒரு தாக்கம் அந்த சமுதாயத்தை பெரிய அளவில் பாதித்து கொண்டிருப்பதையும் பார்க்கிறோம். அதற்கெல்லாம் ஒரு சரியான நம்முடைய ஹிந்துத்துவ சிந்தனை கொடுப்பதற்காக அந்த கேரள மாநிலத்தினுடைய மாநில இணை அமைப்பாளராக பணியாற்றி இருக்கிறார்கள். அது தவிர கேரளத்திலிருந்து வெளிவருகின்ற கேசரி என்ற வார பத்திரிகை நம்முடைய கருத்துக்களை எல்லாம் பல்லாயிரக்கணக்கான மக்களிடையே கொண்டு சேர்த்து அந்த கேரள மக்களுக்கு ஒரு தன்னம்பிக்கையையும் ஹிந்துத்துவத்தின் மீது ஒரு பெருமிதத்தையும் பல ஆன்ஸ்லாட்டுகளை எல்லாம் சந்திக்கக்கூடிய மனோ வலிமையையும் கொடுத்தது. அதனுடைய ஆசிரியராக பணியாற்றியவர் திரு ஜே நந்தகுமார் அவர்கள். அது மட்டுமல்லாமல் அகில பாரத அளவில் இந்த பிரச்சார் துறை, மீடியா துறை, இதனுடைய பொறுப்பாளராக, அகில பாரத இணை அமைப்பாளராக அவர்கள் பணியாற்றி இருக்கின்றார்கள். கடந்த ஒரு 40 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு மேலாக முழு நேரமாக இந்த பணியை செய்து வருகின்றார். தற்பொழுது நாடு முழுவதும் நம்முடைய பிரக்ஞா பிரவாக என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய இந்த சிந்தனையாளர்களுக்கு மத்தியிலே இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த அமைப்பினுடைய அகில பாரத அமைப்பாளராக கிட்டத்தட்ட தினம் ஒரு நகரம் என்ற வகையிலே நாடு முழுவதும் சுற்றுப்பயணம் செய்து பல்வேறு அளவிலான பல்கலைக்கழக, அந்தந்த வட்டார, அந்தந்த கல்லூரிகளிலே நடைபெறுகின்ற தேசிய அளவிலான, மாநில அளவிலான, அது தவிர சர்வதேச அளவிலான பல்வேறு கருத்தரங்குகள், பல்வேறு நிகழ்ச்சிகள், இளைஞர்களுக்கு, பெண்களுக்கு என்று தனித்தனியாக நிகழ்ச்சிகள் இவையெல்லாம் நடத்தி நாடு முழுவதும் ஒரு ஹிந்துத்துவத்திற்கான மகத்தான விழிப்புணர்வை அவர்கள் ஏற்படுத்தி வருகின்றார்கள். அவர் சிறந்த எழுத்தாளரும் கூட. ஹிந்துத்துவ ஃபார் தி சேஞ்சிங் டைம்ஸ் என்ற புத்தகம், லோக் பியாண்ட் ஃபோக் என்ற ஒரு புத்தகம், ஸ்வ அவர் நேஷன்ஹுட் அது பற்றிய ஒரு புத்தகம், கான்டூர்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஹிந்து ராஷ்டிரா என்ற ஒரு புத்தகம், இது போன்று ஒரு 12க்கும் மேற்பட்ட பல அரிய நூல்களை எல்லாம் அவர்கள் எழுதியிருக்கின்றார்கள். மீடியா துறையிலே மிக தீவிரமாக ஆன்மீக கருத்துக்களை, தேசிய கருத்துக்களை ஆணித்தரமாக எடுத்து வைப்பதன் மூலமாகவும், குறிப்பாக கேரளத்தினுடைய பல்வேறு சவால்களாக இருக்கின்ற, கடந்த ஆண்டிலே நாம் பார்த்தோமானால் மாப்ளா கலவரம் போன்ற விஷயங்கள், அதனுடைய 100ஆண்டு விழா சிந்தனைகள் வந்தபொழுது தேசிய சிந்தனைகள் அங்க வலுவடைந்த காரணத்தினால், அதை வலுவடைவ செய்த நந்தகுமார் போன்றவர்களுடைய முயற்சியினால் அது நீர்த்து போயிற்று என்பது நாம் அனைவரும் அறிந்த ஒரு உண்மை. அதுபோன்று கடந்த ஆண்டிலே சுதந்திரத்தினுடைய அமுத மகோத்சவ் நடத்திய அந்த தருணத்தில் ஸ்வராஜ் 75 என்று நம்முடைய பாரத நாட்டுடைய சுதந்திர போராட்டத்துடைய அறியப்படாத பல வீரர்களை பற்றி எல்லாம் அருமையான நூல்களை அவர் எழுதியிருக்கின்றார். திரு நந்தகுமார் அவர்கள் இன்றைய சிறப்பு விருந்தினர். அவர்களை வருக வருக என வரவேற்பதில் பெருமகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். அடுத்து நம்முடன் இருப்பவர் திரு அனந்தகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்கள், சென்னையை சார்ந்தவர், தேனாம்பேட்டை. இதுபோன்று தேசிய அளவிலே நம்முடைய சமுதாயத்தை சீரழிப்பதற்காக இருக்கின்ற பல்வேறு பயங்கரவாத அந்த சக்திகளை எல்லாம் பற்றி ஆய்வு செய்வதற்காக தில்லியிலே நடைபெற்ற 2 நாள் கருத்தரங்கில் இங்கிருந்து தமிழகத்தின் சார்பாக அவர் கலந்து கொண்டு சென்று வந்திருக்கின்றார். அவரையும் வருக வருக என வரவேற்பதில் பெருமகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன்.
இந்த முதல்ல ஒரு பிரசன்டேஷன் இருக்கும், இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் பை அனந்தராமன்ஜி, அதுக்கப்புறம் நந்தகுமார்ஜியோடைய டீட்டெயில்டு பிரசன்டேஷன் இருக்கும், அதற்கப்புறம் ஒரு இன்டராக்டிவ் செஷனும் இருக்கும். ஸோ நம்மளுடைய கேள்விகளை அனந்தராமன்ஜிக்கிட்டயோ நந்தகுமார்ஜிக்கிட்டயோ கேட்கலாம். ஓவர் டு அனந்தராமன்ஜி டு கெட் ஸ்டார்ட்.
இங்கு வந்திருக்கும் தேசிய திரு நந்தகுமார்ஜி அவர்களுக்கும் மற்றும் மேடையில் அமர்ந்திருக்கும் பெரியவருக்கும் இங்கு வந்து இந்த மாலையில் வந்திருக்கும் அனைத்து பெரியோர்களுக்கும் மாலை வணக்கங்கள். நான் வந்து ஒரு ரெகுலர் ஸ்பீக்கர் கிடையாது. ஸோ அதனால் I'll try to speak in a combination of Tamil and English, which is an outcome. அவர் சொன்ன மாதிரி ஒரு 2 நாட்கள் கருத்தரங்கு டெல்லியில் நடந்தது ஜூலை மாதம். அப்பொழுது நாங்கள் இருவர் சங்கத்தின் சார்பாக இங்கிருந்து சென்று அந்த 2 நாள் கருத்தரங்கில் பங்கேற்று இந்த கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசம் என்ற ஒரு தலைப்பிலும் குளோபல் மார்க்கெட் ஃபோர்ஸஸ் என்ற தலைப்பிலும் 2 நாள் கருத்தரங்கில் பல விஷயங்கள் எங்களுக்கு மிகவும் பிரமிப்பாக இருந்தது. நம்மை சுற்றி நிறைய விஷயங்கள் நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. நம்முடைய தேசியம், நம்முடைய கலாச்சாரம், நம்முடைய சமூகத்தை தாக்கக்கூடிய நிறைய விஷயங்கள் நடக்கின்றன. ஆனால் அது விஷயமாக நமக்கு ஒன்றும் தெரியவில்லை என்பது அந்த 2 நாள் கருத்தரங்கில் எங்களுக்கு உள்ளங்கை நெல்லிக்கனியென புரிந்தது. அந்த வகையில் நாங்கள் கற்றது கைமண் அளவு என்ற விஷயத்தில் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசம் அண்ட் வோக்கிசம் இது 2 பேரலல், ரயில்வே ஜார்கனில் 2 பேரலல் ட்ராக் மாதிரி சேராதுன்னு இல்லை, ஒன்றா போகிற விஷயம் அது. அதனால் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசம் ஓட இன்னொரு ஃபார்ம் தான் வோக்கிசம். ஸோ அந்த கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசத்தை பற்றியே நம்ம முதல்ல தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஸோ டு கெட் அன் இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் ஃபார் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசம், இது எப்படி வந்தது அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா 1900s பொலிட்டிக்கலி கம்யூனிசம் ஸ்டார்டட் ஃபெயிலிங். 2 கண்ட்ரீஸை தவிர்த்து வேறு எங்கேயுமே இட் டிட் நாட் ஃபைண்ட் மச் டேக்கர்ஸ். அதனால் இந்த மார்க்சிசம் கான்செப்டை எப்படியாவது சமூகங்களில் நம்ம கொண்டு போய் வச்சுக்கணும் அப்படின்றதுக்கு வேறு ஒரு முறையை கையாண்டார்கள். அந்த முறைதான் நம்முடைய சமூக கலாச்சாரத்தை அழிக்க வேண்டும். அது பாரதிய விஷயமாக வெளிப்பட்ட விஷயம் அல்ல, வெஸ்டர்ன் கண்ட்ரீஸில் தான் முதல்ல ஏற்பட்டது. வெஸ்டர்ன் கண்ட்ரீஸில் சர்ச் வாஸ் ஹேவிங் இட்ஸ் கண்ட்ரோல். ஸோ அவர்களுக்கு ஒரு கலாச்சாரம் இருந்தது. அந்த கலாச்சாரத்தை உடைத்தால் அங்கு ஒரு அனார்கிசம் வில் ஹேப்பன். ஸோ இந்த அனார்கிசம் எப்பொழுது சமூகத்தில் இருக்கோ பின்பு இந்த சமூகத்தை பொலிட்டிக்கலாக we can take the control. இந்த ஒரு உத்வேகத்தில் இந்த ஒரு சீடு, இந்த ஐடியா தான் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசத்தோட பேசிஸாக இருந்தது. Cultural Marxism is a radical political ideology said to be promoted by left-wing activists with the aim of undermining or subverting Western social and cultural institutions, resulting in imposition of progressive agenda on the society. நம்ம பாரதிய அமைப்பை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இதனுடைய பாதிப்பு நம்மளுடைய பாரம்பரியத்தில், ட்ரெடிஷன் மற்றும் கலாச்சாரத்தில் கை வைப்பது என்பது அதாவது அந்த சித்தாந்தம் ஆரம்பித்து இன்று இந்த பரிமாணத்திற்கு வந்திருக்கிறது. அதோடைய இன்னொரு பரிமாணம் தான் வோக்கிசம். ஸோ இதை எப்படி பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா, டு மாரலி கரப்ட் த பீப்புள், ஒழுக்க ஈனத்தை கொண்டு வர வேண்டும் சொசைட்டியில். இப்போ நமக்கு ஒரு பாரம்பரியம், 1000 காலமாக பாரம்பரியம் இருக்கிறது. ஸோ நமக்கு ஒரு வெரி கிளியர் டிஃபைன்டு சொசைட்டி, ஃபேமிலி, வேல்யூஸ், எல்லா சிஸ்டமும் இருக்குது. இதை நம்ம கொஷின் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டோம், இதை இதோட பேசிஸை நம்ம ஷேக் பண்ணிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா இதோடைய மீது இருக்கிற நம்பிக்கையை நம்ம அவநம்பிக்கையாக மாற்றிவிட்டோம் என்றால் நமக்கு ஒரு பிளாங்க்னஸ் வரும். அந்த பிளாங்க்னஸ் வந்தாச்சுன்னா இந்த சமூகத்தை நாம் கண்ட்ரோலில் எடுத்துக்கொள்ளலாம் என்பது சித்தாந்தம் தான் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசம். ஸோ அந்த கண்ட்ரோலை எடுத்துக்கொண்டாச்சுன்னா தென் தே கேன் பொலிட்டிக்கலி ஹேவ் தேர் கண்ட்ரோல் அட் அ லேட்டர் டேட். அந்த விஷயத்தை செய்வது தான் இந்த நம்மளுடைய சித்தாந்தங்கள், நம்மளுடைய பாரம்பரியம் எல்லாத்தையும் பாதிக்கக்கூடிய விஷயங்களில் கையிட இருப்பது. அது என்னென்ன மாதிரியெல்லாம் நடக்கிறது என்பது தான் ஐயா அவர்கள் பேசப் போகிறார்கள். அது சில எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் நானுமே அங்கே கற்றதை சொல்லுகிறேன். அந்த வகையில் ஸோ திஸ் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசம் is subsumed into a movement to destroy culture, tradition, language and the nature of nations. Anybody can be a carrier of this movement knowingly or unknowingly. நாமுமே கூட இதில் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நம்ம வீட்டில் யாரோ ஒருத்தர் நம்ம ஒரு விஷயத்தை சொல்கிறோம், அதை வந்து அவங்க இது சின்ன பசங்க தே ரெசிஸ்ட். இப்போ ஒரு உதாரணம் சொன்னார், ஐ ஆம் woke, வாட் இஸ் ராங் இன் இட் அப்படிங்கிறார் ஒரு சின்ன பையன். இது பெரியவர்கள் கூட சொல்லலாம். ஆனால் நாம் அந்த நேரத்தில் ஒரு கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிஸ்டாக மாறுகிறோம். ஸோ இதோடைய இம்பேக்ட் என்ன அப்படிங்கிறத மேலே விரிவாக விவரிப்பார். இது நம்ம பேசிக் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். ஸோ நம்ம எல்லாருமே ஒரு காலத்தில் சில நேரங்களில் we are becoming cultural Marxist, தெரிந்தும் தெரியாமலும். ஸோ இதை நம்ம ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுறதே பெரிய சேலஞ்ச். ஸோ வாட் ஃபார்ம் இட் இஸ். இப்போ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஓக்குன்னு சொன்னால் இதை நமக்கு ரேஷ்னல் மைண்டுக்கு இட் அப்பீல்ஸ். வாட் இஸ் ஆஸ்க் இஸ் வெரி கரெக்ட், பட் it has different connotations from our culture and societal for existence for the last 1000 years. This is at odds with our existence. So அதை நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஸோ நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதே பெரிய சமாச்சாரமாக இருக்குது. இன்றைக்கி புரிஞ்சின்ற பிறகு இதை நாம் புறம் தள்ள வேண்டிய கட்டாயத்திலும் இன்று இருக்கின்றோம். கல்ச்சரை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் நம்ம வாட் இஸ் த அவுட்கம் ஆஃப் கல்ச்சர் இஸ் மென்டல் அண்ட் ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் ரிஃபைன்மெண்ட். அப்படி இருந்ததுன்னா இட் ப்ரொடியூசஸ் மாரலி ஒழுக்க சீலர்கள் சொசைட்டி உருவாக்குகிறது. எக்ஸாக்ட் இதர் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிஸ்ட் வாட் தே வாண்ட் டு டூ இஸ் பிரேக் திஸ் டு கிரியேட் மாரலி கரப்ட் பீப்புள் so that they become anarchist and they are helping in the political control at the some stage of the Marxist. மேலும் இதை எப்படி அவர்கள் பருகிறார்கள் என்றால் வெகுஜன ஊடகங்கள், மாஸ் மீடியா, பொது கல்வி மூலம் அவர்கள் மூலமாக இந்த இரண்டுமே வந்து நமக்கு வந்து என்லைட்மெண்ட்டும் நாலேஜும் கொடுக்க வேண்டிய இடம். பட் த சேம் மீடியாவை யூஸ் பண்ணி தீஸ் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிஸ்ட் வாட் தே ஆர் டூயிங் இஸ் தே ஆர் மிஸ்லீடிங் அண்ட் கிரியேட்டிங் கன்ஃபியூஷன் இன் த சொசைட்டி. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த வே தே டூ they propitiate their agenda. So there are many examples how they do it. Some of the examples I will just narrate. Own your body and liberate your sexualism. இது ஒரு நரேட்டிவாக இருக்குது. இது நம்ம கல்ச்சருக்கு இது பண்ண ஒரு அகெயின்ஸ்ட் அவர் கல்ச்சர். பட் திஸ் இஸ் பீயிங் ப்ரமோட்டட் பை கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிஸ்ட். ஸோ இதை வந்து இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற கண்டெம்பரரி சொசைட்டி சம் ஆஃப் தம் மே வி வில்லிங் டு அக்செப்ட் திஸ் கான்செப்ட். பட் தி இன்சைட் அஜெண்டா இஸ் டு பிரேக் த சொசைட்டி பை பிரேக்கிங் திஸ் கல்ச்சர். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஒன் எக்ஸாம்பிள். தென் there is something called as political correctness. When we say political correctness, உலகத்தில் இருக்கிற இன்று பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 199 தீவிரவாதிகள் இஸ் ஃப்ரம் எ பர்டிகுலர் கம்யூனிட்டி. வி ஆல் நோ ஹூ இட் இஸ். பட் இங்கே இருக்கிற ஜனங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, ஒரு டெரரிஸ்ட்னு வரும்போது அவர்கிட்ட we will not identify them by community, but we will say he is only a terrorist, whereas it is called politically correct. So ஒரு விஷயத்தை வந்து ப்ராக்டிக்கலாக பார்க்கறது இல்லை. இந்த சமூகத்திலேருந்து தான் இந்த பிரச்சனைகள் வருதுங்கிறது எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். ஆனால் அதை சொல்லாமல் பொலிட்டிக்கலி கரெக்ட் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ஸ் கொடுக்கறது. ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் ஆல் வேஸ் அண்ட் மீன்ஸ் ஆஃப் தி கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிஸ்ட் ஹூ ஆர் கிரியேட்டிங் கன்ஃபியூஷன்ஸ் இன் த சொசைட்டி டு என்ஷூர் தட் தெர் இஸ் அன் அனார்கி. அது மட்டும் இல்லை, எல்லாத்தையும் பைனரிஸாக மாற்றுறது. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், இட்ஸ் அ மெஜாரிட்டி ஹிந்து வெர்சஸ் முஸ்லீம். அதாவது சாதாரண விஷயமா இருக்கலாம், அதை ஹிந்து முஸ்லீம் பைனரியாக மாற்றுறது, இல்லை மெஜாரிட்டி வெர்சஸ் மைனாரிட்டியை பைனரியாக மாற்றுறது, இல்லை கன்சர்வேட்டிவ்ஸ் வெர்சஸ் மாடர்னிஸ்ட், ஹேவ்ஸ் அண்ட் ஹேவ் நாட்ஸ், ட்ரெடிஷன் வெர்சஸ் மாடர்னிட்டி, சவுத் வெர்சஸ் நார்த், அதுக்கப்புறம் ஆரியன், டிராவிடியன், 85% வெர்சஸ் 15% ஆஃப் த சொசைட்டி. இந்த மாதிரி சாதாரண விஷயங்கள் வேர் இட் நீட்ஸ் அ மோர் பிராக்மேட்டிக் சொல்யூஷன்ஸை கூட இவர்கள் பைனரியாக மாற்றி விடுகிறார்கள் டு கன்ஃபியூஸ் த பீப்புள். ஸோ த ஃபென்ஸ் சிட்டர்ஸ்லாம் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, எய்தர் தே வில் கோ on both sides based on whatever appeals to them. So this is also one of the strategy of the cultural Marxist to create confusions in the society. நமக்கு தெரியும் இந்த சிஏஏ ப்ரொட்டஸ்ட்லாம் கூட இந்த கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிஸ்டோட ஒரு அவுட்கம் தான். அவர்கள் எப்படி பண்ணார்கள் என்பது that is a different subject by itself, but it was also part of the cultural Marxist agenda of this thing. And finally, நம்ம இதை எப்படி ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுறது? இது வந்து ஒரு விஷயம் நடக்கிறது நம்ம சுற்றி நித்தியபடி, அந்த மாதிரி நடக்கும்போது இது கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசமாக இல்லையாங்கிறது எப்படி ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுறதுங்கிற ஒரு கொஷின். ஏன்னா இந்த சப்ஜெக்டே கொஞ்சம் வித்தியாசமாக இருக்கும். இது ஒரு சிறுவர் கேட்குற மாதிரி எனிபடி கேன் ஆஸ்க் எ கொஷின். ஸோ ஹவு டு ஐடென்டிஃபை? ஸோ த ஃபண்டமெண்டல் திங் இஸ் whether it strikes our culture, whether it creates confusion and misleading sense for what has been accepted for so many long years, as well as whether it divides our Hindu society. இந்த மாதிரி பேசிக் கொஷின்ஸை நம்ம கேட்டு இதற்கெல்லாம் நமக்கு ஒரு தீர்க்கமான பதில் வந்ததுன்னா, அதாவது எஸ், இட் இஸ் டிவைடிங் த ஹிந்து சொசைட்டி, திஸ் இஸ் கிரியேட்டிங் எ கன்ஃபியூஷன், திஸ் இஸ் மிஸ்லீடிங் ஃப்ரம் அவர் பர்சீவ்டு பிலீஃப்ஸ் அண்ட் ட்ரெடிஷன், and it leads to demarcation in the society. இந்த மாதிரி பதில்கள் வந்ததுன்னா நிச்சயமாக இது நமக்கு தெரியணும், it is cultural Marxism. And cultural Marxism, ஓக்கிசம் என்னங்கிறது வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை, it is only the same. இந்த ஓக்கிசம் என்பது அதோடைய ஒரு இது 1900 வந்தது கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசம், அது இன்னைக்கு 2010 அப்புறம் வந்தது இஸ் ஓக்கிசம், பீயிங் அவேக். இந்த மாதிரி நரேட்டிவ்ஸ் எல்லாம் கிரியேட் பண்ணுறது தான் இவங்களோட கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிஸ்டோட வேலை. இது நமக்கு ஸோ வி ஹாவ் டு பி அலர்ட் அண்ட் கிரவுண்டட் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் த வேஸ் ஆஃப் கல்ச்சரல் மார்க்சிசம் அஃபெக்டிங் அவர் டெய்லி வே ஆஃப் லைஃப். இதற்கு ஒரே வழி நம்மளுடைய கலாச்சாரத்தை விட்டு கொடுக்காமல் நம்மளுடைய பாரம்பரியத்தில் இருந்தோமான ஐ திங்க் தீஸ் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் வில் கோ பை இட் செல்ஃப். அண்ட் ஓக்கியிசம், இதற்கு என்ன, வாட் இஸ் த மீனிங் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோன்னா, in its pristine meaning, the need to correct systematic inequalities and injustice that is pervasive in any society. இதுதான் அதோடைய அர்த்தமாக இருக்குது. பட் இந்த ஓக்கியிசம்ங்கிறத யார் கையில் எடுக்கிறாங்கன்றதை பொறுத்து இன்னைக்கு வந்து அது ஒரு டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டான ஒரு வெப்பனாக மாறிப்போச்சு. ஸோ அந்த வகையில் இன்னைக்கு வந்து பாரதிய கான்டெக்ஸ்டில் பார்த்தோம்னா, so it has started affecting our religion, our culture and human rights. So இந்த ஓக்கியிசத்தை ஒரு லாஃப்டி ஐடியல்ஸாக்காக கொண்டு வந்த விஷயத்தை இன்னைக்கு இந்தியன் கான்டெக்ஸ்டில் மாற்றின பிறகு it has become a tool for the cultural Marxist to affect our society, our identity and our traditions and cultures. How it is being done is a big topic where maybe Nandak Maji will be in a better position to tell us. And in the woke culture considers it legitimate to berate Hinduism and the way of life in books, social media. It has become like that. So somebody takes a woke culture in a sense, and ultimately now what has tend to be a lofty ideal initially in 2010s, it has now become a tool to berate the Hindu culture. So some of the interventions are maybe Sabarimala, CAA protest, and wokes merging with the Muslim fundamentalists, glorification of sexual identities like LGBTs etc. and attacking the family institutions. இதெல்லாமே வந்து ஒரு ஓக்கிசத்தோட way of affecting our culture on a day-to-day basis. And the common goal of cultural Marxism and wokeism is to destroy the Bharatiya culture, and the dividing line between them is slowly becoming borderless. The woke culture also normalizes the idea that Muslims in India have a greater right over the resources of the country than Hindus. It turns a blind eye to Muslim exceptionalism like separate Sharia laws and the problematic political and national loyalties of the largest minority in India. The concerns of the major community in India must be accorded primacy and every level of decision making. The Indic narrative must triumph over the woke propaganda. There is a serious need to introspect. So with this brief introduction, I thank you all for giving me this opportunity.
Most respected Thiru Vishwanath ji, and dear Anandaramanji, who made a wonderful translation of my speech. Translation precedes the original speech. So you have got a very good idea about the topic which we are discussing. Many of you must have gone through these subjects already. I don't think that a thinking community is hearing these type of topics for the first time. Say, hear this synchronize. I cannot synchronize with the presentation, so I will try my level best to be with that slides. Okay. So before starting, let me explain 2-3 examples. Some years back, I saw a publicity, an advertisement in a paper, and that advertisement was about a Gita chanting competition conducted by a most esteemed, world-renowned spiritual Hindu organization. I don't want to ridicule anyone, so I don't want to mention the name also. The program was Gita competition. See how we vokes are intruding into even Hindu spiritual organization. I found it in that advertisement. There was a wonderful front page advertisement in one of the prominent English daily. And the advertisement line was, "Chant Gita, land America." Chant Gita, land America. It was the time of Clinton. You know how wonderful if some students are going there and meeting Clinton with his staff, office staff and everything. The elders may understand what I am saying. So, chanting Gita is to attain moksha as far as we are concerned. Sa vidya or sa Gita, ya Gita, sa vimuktaye, one which emancipates us. Is emancipation can be attained in Clinton's Oval Office? But that advertisement was like that, chant Gita, land America. Okay. At that time I was not aware about this cultural Marxism and this wokeism and all those things. And recently, some days back, I have seen a photo in the social media. Many of you must have seen. Here I don't hesitate to tell the name of that institution. That is Asim Premji University. Asim Premji University Union has organized a program in the name Annihilating Hinduism. Till recently it was against dismantling Hindutva, so they were sparing Hinduism at that point of time. But now the attack is directly on Hinduism. The program's name was Annihilating Hinduism. It was organized in a most reputed private university of our nation. Okay. Many of the Hindus are very much eager to send their students to at least Ashoka University or Asim Premji University. The program's name was Annihilating Hinduism. And I saw the photo. It was, I don't know who is that boy. He may be some office bearer of the union. He was giving a keynote address or not, I don't know, welcome address, maybe. But here in the rostrum, it was written that Annihilating Hinduism. And that boy who was speaking at the Prasanga Pitha, he has got mustache, thadi and everything, and a grown-up boy, grown-up male, wearing jeans and t-shirt as underwears, and bahya wears, what was it? It was sari. Sari over jeans. And he was publicly speaking and claiming that it is my body, it is my space, and it is my choice. Who the hell you are to intervene? He was asking to his father also, even, I don't know. He was saying, this is my body, It is my choice and it is my space. So then I go deep into that type of mentality and propaganda. I found the roots of that propaganda in this wokeism. It is the exhibition of wokeism. There are so many such examples. I don't want to go after so many examples. I would like to give another example here. Recently, in Cannes Film Festival, there was one film directed by a reputed director, women director, acted by one of my Kerala actress, Kani Kusurti. They were all invited to that stage of Cannes Film Festival. But this Bharatiya or Keralite, Kani Kusurti, went there with a particular designed vanity bag. How many of you have noticed it? I don't know. That vanity bag became a big talking point. Or Samanyata, quite naturally, vanity hasn't got anything inside. But this vanity has got so many things to tell. It was in a flags format. 2 flags were incorporated in that particular vanity bag of Kani Kusurti, that actress who got award there. It was in the shape and form of Palestine's pataka, Palestine's flag. And also it was in a rainbow color type design. And it was a model of, and it was a sign symbol of LGBTQIA plus. How many it is there, I don't know. Some are saying that 82, some are saying 112, and some are, even now they are also finding out new genders. See, when so many of you have come here at the correct time because of this arrangements problem, it was late for 15 minutes. Those who came in the beginning must have changed your gender as per this gender fluidity theories. Woke theory, as per the woke theory, within 2 hours or 2.5 hours, there is a possibility of changing the gender. Changing the gender. That's it. So, and if I am going after so many examples, I am selecting example for explaining some of the major aspects of this wokeism. That's why I am selecting 3 or 4 examples. Recently, in one of our school, in north of Bharat, I don't want to say North India, there is no North India, there is no South India, there are parts in the north and parts in the parts of nation in the south. So, one of the school, highly reputed school, one 7th standard student, a boy to see it I am saying, naturally the teacher called him as he, and that boy of 11 years old or 12 years old, he stood up and with an angry face, he asked the teacher, "How dare you call me he? Who told you that I am a he? I can be a she, I can be a G, I can be an it, whatever it may." See, this is the growing trend under the influence, the perverted influence of this particular ideology, wokeism. What is wokeism? Already it has been said clearly by Anandaramanji. As the name suggests, it is about being woke. In a way, a past tense of woke. It is an Afro-American vernacular slang word. Afro-American vernacular, AVA, a slang. That is house, AAVS. It was very much in use in that area. There are a lot of rap music, woke. There are so many rap musics also. It became more popular nowadays. Ironically, this much part is very good. We are not against that woke. Being alert, being awakened, that's good. Tasmat, jagrata. Even in our own age-old scripture says always Jagrata, Jagrata. The great famous saying of Swami Vivekananda. What is it? Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran Nibodhata. And you have to awake and stand up, not stand up and awake, stand up and then awake, go to the Lakshya, don't look back. So in our tradition it is there. But what is the mentality and the action of this work is, in its pursuit to heighten the awareness and justice, they are talking more about the justice. They are talking more about the awareness. It is often leads to narrow-mindedness and intolerance towards any viewpoint happened to be against them. That's it. See, when Swami Vivekananda said about the Tishtata Jagrata, he was not against any philosophy which was against Hindutva. He was not at all against. He was ready to embrace all aspects. Along with Tasma Jagrata Jagrata, we used to say to the public that Ekam Sadhu Vipraha Bhutavatanti. We are ready to incorporate all views which is against us, which are against us. But here, in this Wokism, we cannot just say that, okay, you are also talking about Jagrata, we are talking about Wokism. But this Wokism is, it is a narrow-mindedness and intolerance towards any viewpoint that deviates from this one. That is the main problem of work. And let us go through some 3-4 major points, then we can go much deep into its genesis or its transformation, which has already been mentioned in the introductory speech of Sriman Anandaramanji. Wokism is a radical and a divisive ideology. It divides the public, divides the society. They are very much happy in dividing. It is an un-Indian or non-Indian view, Abharatiya Drishtikon. There are two types of Drishtikon as far as we Bharatiyas are concerned. One is Abharatiya, non-Indian. Where does it stand? It always stands on a premise or on a basis that they see always binaries. Already said, Anandaramanji talked about that binary. They are ramte hai binary mein. அவருக்கு பெரிய குஷியா இருக்கும் இந்த பைனரி பற்றி சொல்லுவதற்கு. யார இங்கே 100-110 ஆட்கள் இருக்கே, 110 different identities. That's it. So to find differences among two people, you shall not take, it is not necessary to have doctorate in anthropology. Any LKG student can find. See, Nandakumar is a bit dark and see Vishwanaji is Sundar, he is white. This difference, is it necessary to go for a JNU to study anthropology and taking MPhil and taking PhD? Any LKG student, this is the greatest philosophy of theirs. That is what is nowadays we are hearing from typical propagandists of anti-Sanatana warriors. Those who are. They are creating always divisive are their ideology. But we, Bharati, I am just giving you this comparison also along with this presentation. See, when we are talking about different ideologies, we never thought that these all are aliens. They are all fighting each other. Differences are there, but that is not animosity. We never see other as enemy. We are ready to incorporate all. Why? Our basic philosophy is Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, I am Atma Brahma, Sarvam Khalidam Brahma. We are finding unity in everywhere, but they promotes extreme diversity and also a philosophy nowadays very much popular. Recently I was participating in a program in Bhopal where one of the ministers, I don't want to say which cabinet minister, say you can search who is the cabinet minister and find out the name, so I don't want to put him in trouble. And there was a poet also. Poet means a poetess, I would like to say, lady poet. lady poet, I want to say. While he was speaking, he accidentally said, "Hamari Kavayatri." ऐसा बताया, मेरे Kavayatri, प्रसिद्ध Kavayatri. Kavayatri is the Strilinga of. And suddenly he changed his, begged pardon to the public audience and said, "Sorry, it is not politically correct." Because calling a lady poet poetess or Kavayatri is politically incorrect. So that is the case. So this political correctness is controlling our language even, our dictionaries even. There are new methods of creating pronouns. So already I have said that one boy has said that I am not he, I can be she, I can be it, I can be she, I can be geese, whoever it may. And I can even marry a table. Recently it also happened in one of the Western countries. One girl came to a college and announced that I have married the table of our classroom. So I loved it like anything. See what all madness is being created by this wokeness. And another girl came to the school and said that henceforth I am a cat. So you have to address me as meow, meow. I am not exaggerating things. This much mental disorder is also created by this type of propaganda. So wokeism imposes rigid orthodoxy that stifles free speech and open debate while fostering a victimhood mentality. You know, all this wokeism and this all propaganda started like a wildfire after that incident took place in America where a black, I don't know whether he has created any problem or not, but many videos are showing that he was the person who was leading, attacking all mall shops and stealing the mask during a Black Lives Matter struggle. And a white policeman, unluckily he was a white policeman, he caught hold of him while fighting each other. That black man fell down, and samanyata, quite naturally, any policeman who is well versed in security measures and all, he pinned him to the ground and put his knee on his head or shoulders or neck. Incidentally, he died. Lloyd. He died. I am not saying that what that white man has did is correct. That is correct. But what happened afterwards? Afterwards, this ideology, and it became a wild fire, and it has even reached Bharat also. This Black Lives Matter slogan has been transformed. So many mimicries in Bharat, so many copying of this. Their Kisan Lives Matter, Farmer Life Matter, Black Life Matter, Muslim Life Matter. These type of slogans were created all out of a fostering victimhood mentality. This is another mental disease. Victimhood. They are against me. He is against me. All are against me. This is a strange mentality. This is basically a Western construct, this victimhood mentality. See, one Swami Vivekananda, when he was in the Western tour, one of his Western friend came to him, "Swami, many a days I was about to ask you a question that why do you wear this type of loose dress? How could you run away from an attacker while dressing these type of things? It is very loose. It will stall you from, it is a hindrance for you from running fast." Swamiji told, "I am not thinking that every man outside is attacking me. It may be your thought." So, the wokeism also, this type of wokeism, I mean, this victimhood mentality, it is there. They are saying that it is a progressive ideology. Well and good. If it is a progressive ideology, it is good for them. But we are not feeling so. Marginalizing their dissenting viewpoints and creating social fragmentation through its emphasis on perceived systemic injustice and historical grievances. So many stories they are saying. So this is in general an introduction to wokeism and how it has shaped this form. So we have to go back to the genesis of this wokeism. Already it has been said, so my task has been his rigidness has been, solved my problem, actually, Anandramanji. Marxism, I would add a term, classical Marxism. Classical Marxism, the very term is an oxymoron. If it is class, it cannot be Marxism. If it is Marxism, there will not be any class in their activity. But still, to understand, we have to use classical Marxism, which was propounded by Karl Marx, Engels, and then practiced by Lenin, Stalin, Trotsky, Bukhanin, all those in China, Mao Zedong and all. That is known as, in general, we can put it in a bracket, that classical Marxism. So next. It failed, there is no doubt. You are all aware. It's a big question for left. We are not liable to answer why it was failed. Still, we have to discuss about it. Next. We can go fast. I think Guruji's. Yes. In the beginning of the 40s, you know, Marxism at its peak, Guruji made a statement. Pujne Guruji Sangha Sarsakatalak. One another thing I would like to add, that Guruji Golwalkar was never outside Bharat. He never visited any of the Western nations. So, but when he was asked, what is the future of communism and what is the reason of your conclusion? He said that communism will not survive more. Why? It is defective in theory and destructive in practice. In practice it is destructive. How succinctly, how clearly Pujne Guruji has made that statement. You may be knowing, in that period, our great leader Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he was a fan of communism and socialism and claiming on and often that I am a Fabian socialist. He used to visit and participate in the Comintern, Communist International. Once he visited 1936 Communist International, and in the sidelines of that Communist International meeting, he met Comrade Pame Dutt, who was in charge of Bharatiya Communist Party. And do you know that Pame Dutt has dictated the presidential address of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru for the Lucknow ACC conference. In the ACC conference, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was selected, he was designated president, and later on he became the president, and his presidential address was, the main points were dictated by Comrade Pame Dutt. Okay. In that speech, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and what you say, a little gap, in 1936 it happened, and in the beginning of 40s, Guruji has made this statement. But in 1936, in the ACC conference meeting, presidential address itself, he has said that only one ideology is winning, that is communism. At the same time, Guruji was saying that it has failed because it is destructive in practice and defective in theory. So that is the difference. Okay, then. So what all are the main ideological problem? One, I would like to say, Marx prophecies failed. First prophecy, Bhavishyavani, what was it? State will wither away. If communism came into practice, have you seen any of the communist countries where the state withered away? As it's on, it never withered away. The people shook it fast, and just like ripe leaves, it all withered away because of the people's revolution. The idea of state, while communism is there, got strong, got stabilized. But later on, everywhere it was destroyed. Not by communist leaders, by the people. Second, revolution will take place in capitalist societies. That's a wonderful, strange prophecy by Karl Marx. Capitalist societies like England, America, and everywhere. But do you feel that within 1,000 years, I'm saying 1,000 years, is there any possibility to bring back communism, bring communism there? It was actually happened in the agrarian societies like Russia and all. And another thing, third one, I have selected only three. Change alone is changeless. Oh, what a romantic prophecy it was. Change alone. To For the hearing purpose it was good. But what happened to that change alone is changeless theory? Is communism the end of change? It is just like that. As per his theory, once communism will come, as per his theory, communism must also change. But as far as the communist leaders, it never changed. That principle itself proved false. Okay, then next. Okay, this all you all know about the Russian Revolution, Chinese Revolution, reunification of Europe within a short span of time, and fall of communism, fall of USSR in 1991, in 1990 March 11 and 91 December, Lithuania to Kazakhstan, all those states, 14 nations announced their freedom from Russian shackles. Later on, Russian communism has also been vanished. Then next, why Guruji has said that it is practically very dangerous, destructive? See, this is official account. How many people were murdered by communist leaders and communist governments? This is Black Book of Communism, Crimes, Terror and Repression. It has been read that total, as per the official account, 94.5 million were murdered by communist leaders, right from China to Vietnam. I didn't add Bengal murders or Kerala murders along with this. In Kerala and Tamil Nadu also, hundreds and thousands were murdered. So this is why we are saying that it is practically very defective, destructive, and in theory it was defective, apurna. Again. So communism, classical communism was failed. Now what to do? The communist thinkers thought about a new way. So they started propagating about a neo-left. Because once this communism, already it has been said, it is not necessary to be elaborated much. Because of the cruelties done on several states, several nations, their own people, the thinking community became estranged. They went away from communist path. Writers, thinkers, students and all. Then to attract those thinkers and other communities, not only laborers, all other communities to them, they have started a neo-left movement. This is neo. Just like some hotels were started and then some sort of tax evasion problem came and suddenly that till then it was Sunil tea shop. Next day it will become new Sunil tea shop. In this way, communism's name has been changed by some of the thinkers like Antonio Gramsci, Hockenheimer, just like so many thinkers were there. They have started thinking about Herbert Marcuse. He was the main, considered to be the father of neo-left. So it was activated, a neo-left theory. How neo-left, and through that neo-left movement, how socialist or communist state can be established. Next, I would like to show you a flow chart to understand. So for this purpose, they have created a theoretical basis that is known as cultural Marxism. This is also an oxymoron. If there is culture, Marxist and culture, what is there? You know? So culture and Marxism will not go along with. But they have created a culture and their leaders have started saying, we are here not to study culture, we are here to create a new culture. So that can be a Marxian culture. Anyway, cultural Marxism. They found a new constituency for them to cater. New constituency. Formerly there was labor constituency. Now they have changed their focus to the thinkers, students, academicians and everywhere. For that purpose they have created this cultural Marxism in short. As a theory they have formulated a theory known as critical theory. Critics or critic. Critical theory is criticizing anything before you. That's it. Criticizing, analyzing is a new term is not a new term for Bharatiyas. We also criticize. We have got Nirupana Shastra and everything. But it is to create a good life. It is to analyze to better it. Our progress is always from good to more good. Not bad from bad. We never say something bad and we are going to transfer it into good. That is not our way. Again, I want to depend upon Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda always said about this. We are passing from good to more good. Okay. Their critical theory, it has got a 3R theory. R. Not that Ramcharan Sar. It is rebel, resist. Rebel, react and resist. See, everything is being rebelled, whatever it may. When father is sitting on that reputed kasera in our family, a woke son may come and say, what is your right to sit always on that kasera? I also want to sit on that chair. Resist, rebel, and react and rebel. And throw away all those customary things. I am simplifying these things. Those people who are following critical theory may ridicule me because this is a very compound theory. You are saying these type of, through this simple term you are trying to explain it. In essence, this is it. R. Everything is to be changed. And on the basis of the critical theory, and they have transformed it into academic study materials. And there a new term has emerged that is known as academic left. So why I am giving this much of background, when this wokeism has been going its own round around us, doing all these rubbish things against the culture, traditional habits, values and customary practices, some academicians and intellectuals will come forward and say that this is liberalism, man. They have got every right to do it. Why it has happened? There is an academic left has been formed. Academicians are asked or insisted to become left always. From that academic left community, cultural studies, so many cultural study materials were formed. And new vertical social anthropology, social anthropology, liberal studies, in that gender studies, and through all these academic processes, it will end in a alternative politics. Alternative politics, you must have heard about that. And through that alternative politics, this communism in the new guise can establish their state. This is the ultimate. It is not from my thinking it has come out. It has been clearly mentioned in the Long March theory of Antonio Gramsci, which he wrote in his jail diaries. He also wrote a jail diary inside the Italian jail. He was the founder, secretary of Italian Communist Party. He was the beginner or the starting point, you can say. And he put before an idea, Long March. Before Mao Zedong found out this Long March, Antonio Gramsci wrote about it, and this Antonio Gramsci's concept can be described through this flowchart. So the ultimate aim is to establish the communist state itself. Next. So for that purpose here Antonio Gramsci comes. For that purpose, infiltrating in the academic field, already I have mentioned, changing those key institutions from within, torpedoing from within. Academic institutions were being conquered by them. Wherever they are not allowed to enter through the front door, they will enter through the back door. Into your academic, study material building team, creating team, they will enter. It has been asked and given a sacred duty or sacred position by Antonio Gramsci, there Karl Marx. He primarily advocated for targeting 5 of these main objectives. 1, religion. That's why I have given that. I have given you that example. Whereas spiritual Hindu, most staunch, internationally acclaimed organization, without thinking what foolishness we are writing, They give the statement, they give the advertisement, chant Gita, land America. Intruding into religion even. That's why many of the religious groups are not ready to align with the nationalist forces. They are being taken over by these forces. Recently, Prajna Pravas team of Karnataka has conducted one Vachana Sahitya seminar. Major opposition came from some ashramas. So that's why religion is being infiltrated, and it is also going in a bad direction under their control and influence. Second, family. You know, here you will get a connection with the so-called classical Marxism thought, cultural Marxism and wokeism. They are all attacking family. Marx in his theory already said that greatest economic sin is private ownership. That is one of his theory. Private ownership. Private ownership, this sin is starting from family. This is not my statement, it's Karl Marx's statement. Family is a private ownership. My wife, my husband, my children. It is a private ownership. So you shall not think about it. See, it was practiced in the beginning, in the 1920, beginning 17, 18, 19. Under Lenin, they tried to create communes wherein which my wife is not my wife, your wife can be my wife. This type of mentality, they were all living as a commune, and later on they come to the conclusion that it is a foolish thought, it will never happen. Lenin himself has answered to one of a journalist who asked him this question, not only this question, many of the questions, in which he answered that, see, how communism is faltering, the main reason is that the mentality of the common communist party member is not changing with these ideologies. So their Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh's theory and methodology is more correct. It has been stated by Lenin himself. Because we are concentrating upon the mentality changing. First of all, you have to change the manasthiti. Then only you can change the vyavasthiti. Anyway, family is being attacked. The classical Marxists also attacked, cultural Marxists attacked, and through these wokist, stupid youngsters, our families are also being, family values are being attacked. Education. No need to explain much about that. What all are happening in the education system, how they are polluting it, poisoning it. Media. Media people are the most, sorry, many media people are here. I am not criticizing you who came here. But some of the media people are thinking that we know everything under sky and above earth. Who the hell you are to correct me? With a arrogant smile on the corner of the lips. They even question 90-year-old great philosophers and thinkers and political leaders. They will call Advani by name. They have got the right to do so. I am not talking about you must call him Advaniji or Papa or Dada or Dadu, but still some sort of respect is needed. But so why it happened? Media people are also very much concerned about their right, not about their duty. Not about their duty. Yes, we all have the duty. That is the main salient feature of Bharatiya philosophy. We have to think about our duty. Then if you are performing your duty well, then your right will be given to you and it will be fulfilled through others. When you are performing your duty, that will be a right of some others. That is our theory. But they are only thinking about this. So media people are very much concentrating upon shoot and scoot, talking about something and scooting away from that field, going after some other victims. These things are going on only because of the strange influence. I am not saying 100% of the media person are like this, but it is going on like this. Law, not needed to say, who else? None other than the topmost person of the judiciary is saying that while giving a judgment in Supreme Court, the topmost person, who is he? He gave a statement that there is no ultimate male or ultimate female. Who is he, you know? This is a woke term. This is the gender fluidity theory. It has been supported by none other than the topmost person in the judiciary. So how far it has reached, you just think about it. You just think about it. I am not saying that there are no transgenders. Yes, there are transgenders. But that is not the norm of the society. What is the norm? For no doubt, it is male and female. Yes, transgenders were there during Mahabharata time also. They fought for, one of the greatest transgender fought for Pandavas. And he was the Sena Nayaka. He or it or she or what, I don't know. He was the Sena Nayaka for some time also. What to say, Arjuna was also a transgender for some time. It was there. But that is not the norm. So finding out some aberrations and making it norm, that is another speciality of these people, and making it low. That's also happening. Okay. Oh, these people have started conquering the economic field also. And I don't want to talk much about that. Capturing the means of knowledge production. Means be, though they are all trying. Next time is running out. So many binaries are being created by these people. So many. Ram, Sita. Sita is being neglected by Rama. Rama is a privileged class. When comparing with Rama, Sita is subordinate. This is the theory they are creating. Sita is being cruelly neglected, forsaken by Rama. Rama is bad. So many of these folk kavis have made so many poems. In one of it, Rama versus Surpanakha. And Surpanakha, you know, she was sister of Ravana. She was a wonderful, beautiful woman as for them, I don't know. And they are saying that she found an young, handsome man inside the jungle and fell in love with him. First love, first sight love. What is to be said by a young, beautiful lady when she found that herself was in love with a man? I love you. So she said, I love you. What is the wrong of Surpanakha? Did she do anything against the norms? But what Rama did, Rama ridiculed her and asked her to go to equally handsome his younger brother Lakshmana. Lakshmana also, and they have teased her. It is actually a women, what is it? Utpidan. That's it, they said. And at last Rama and Lakshmana, they could have married her. But also they could have dealt something in a better way with that. Without doing such things, cultured things, this uncultured fellow Rama, Adharmi Rama, has cut away Surpanakha's nose, ears and all. And rest another particle, Valmiki didn't write about that organ. Someone created that. I don't think that. Okay. So one poem was created, and who is more cultured? Ravana or Rama? These type of comparisons are there. Ram, Hanuman. Hanuman is also subordinated to him. That is why Hanuman is sitting on the ground before Rama. Rama is sitting on the throne and Hanuman is sitting down. Actually, where is Rama as per a true Hindu? Rama is in the heart of Hanuman. Rama and Sita is in the heart. He has shown it to the other people also. But some of these wokist and cultural masters have doubt, and they say Arjun versus Karna, Hanuman versus Bali, older generation against versus youth, mainland population with borderland population, God versus man, Durga versus Mahishasur. They are always not with Mahila. Sometimes they are with the Rakshasas. Durga is a sex worker as per this wokist or cultural masters. She has been sent to attract in, you say Mahishasura in order to kill him. She attracted Mahishasura and kept with her for 9 days, and on the 10 days, cheatingly, cunningly, this Durga cruelly killed Mahishasura. This is the theory. How many of you have gone through these type of theories? I don't know. If you haven't yet gone through, thank you, you are very much fortunate. You are very much fortunate. This is on this basis only in JNU they have celebrated, this walk is celebrated Mahishasura Jayanti. They celebrated it there. So, Shivaji and Aurangzeb, Shivaji and Afzal Khan. Shivaji actually cheated Afzal Khan. So, Shivaji is not a person to be respected, actually Afzal Khan is to be respected. That is their theory. So, this theory was formulated in a Frankfurt school, and all details are there. They have created these type of theories. And next, Max Horkheimer, he was also considered to be a great grandfather of this walkist. They were saying there are two consciousnesses. One is false consciousness. What is false consciousness? I am a Hindu. No matter in which caste I belong to, I am a Hindu. Those who are saying I am a Hindu, I am loving this nation, this is my nation, it is a false consciousness. Actually, it is a false consciousness. What is the critical consciousness? Max Horkheimer taught us that actually you have to say that whether you are Tevar, whether you are Nadar, whether you are Muslim, whether you are Tamilian, not at all Hindu or Bharatiya. That is the critical consciousness. Those who have got that critical acumen will get this type of consciousness. There will be a continuous fight in between this critical consciousness and the false consciousness. Ultimately, the critical consciousness must win. For that purpose, you have to do whatever you can to establish this critical consciousness. What is the critical consciousness? That is divisive, binary based, all sort of things. So, again, so these are all academic left also, skip kariye. Multi-million-dollar business, this Wokism and cultural Marxism, who was encroached in the education field and university and educational institutions, are now running a huge business, multi-crore business. How it is happening, I will, through their theory, diversity, equity and inclusion, DEI, to the corporate, they are giving corporate classes and all those things. I would like to put the krama in this way: diversity, inclusion, equity. The short form will become DIE. It is actually for the death of the society. These type of theories, for hearing purpose and understanding purpose, from the outside it is all good. Diversity, who is against it? But on the basis of the diversity, they are creating lot of problems in the society. Lot of new identities are being created. In the name of equity, they are forcing to incorporate this gender fluidity theory in the corporate houses also. They are being forced to do it. For that purpose, there are training modules for giving training to the corporate masters. Long march through the corporates and the corporate training program and investment. Just next, diversity, equity, inclusion. Anyway, diversity is the new system of racial standing. It is for race and caste. Equity is the new method of power transfer. Inclusion is the new basis of enforcement. That is DIE. That is for the, we will die through following this. If any corporate house is not following the terms and norms which have been dictated through this type of education, they will not be approved as an accredited member of this big corporate family. They have to follow. And those institutions or NGOs who are following the terms and dictations given by these cultural Marxist influenced theories, that NGOs will not get the benefit of CSRs. Mind it. If you are running an NGO If you are not giving space, I have already said this is my body, this is my space, and this is my choice. If you are not giving space for them to do whatever they like, you may be knowing, recently in a Delhi metro train, I am sorry, Behan, sisters are also sitting, some girls are also sitting, so I don't want to elaborate much. In metro train compartment, boy with boy, boy with girl, girl with girl, all sort of nasty things were doing in the broad daylight while metro was moving. And that is, they are claiming, when a middle-aged person, very much agitated with this type of things, ask the boy or girl, what you are doing this? How publicly you are doing? Then he said that slogan, this is my body and this is my space and this is my choice. So in this way, these type of inhuman behaviors, anti-social or perversions, you have to provide space for these type of activities. In the coming time, you are going to face this also through this wokeism. They will not give CSR. That's the thing. Okay, then. Wokeness needed money. So they have conquered Wall Street. And Wall Street needed moral license. Because Wall Street and those financial institutions need the accreditation from these academicians. So they are providing money to them and they are going in that way. Okay, next. What is wokeism? Already it has been explained. I would like to present you before some photographs, and through that I will, from that I am concluding my speech also. It has already exceeded the limit. First and foremost is ideological rigidity. In the first slide itself I have said that there is a rigidity of ideology. Enforcement of politically correct language, such as mandating the use of specific pronouns or terms, can be seen as suppressive. They are claiming that it is encroaching into my right. That's it. It leads to self-censorship and inhibit honest communication. Honest communication will not happen. See next slide. So it has already been, I have said, battles of pronoun. Is it not that? Yes. My pronouns are, you can see that. I don't know whether the backbenchers are seeing it properly or not. A person is saying, a girl is saying, girl or boy, I don't know. Theirs, sim, their, her, they, she, his, say, they, and gone. There, a huge number of pronouns are there. So that example which I have already said, it's added in there. Second thing, divisiveness and identity politics. This is also a way to understand whether it is wokeism or not. Emphasis on identity politics, caste politics, creed politics, race politics, all have emerged, especially in Bharat after emergency. And say during emergency, when that particular part has been added to the preamble of our constitution, that secularism terms, in Bharat also this caste politics emerged. There is no use of that particular term in our article, and it paved way to start this caste politics or identity politics. It became a part of this cultural Marxist group and wokeism. Race, gender, sexual orientation, everything. It focuses on group identity over individual merit, exacerbates divisions rather than fostering unity, all these things. How it is being exhibited, next. See, how two boys or girls, I don't know, it is a reputed university where both are dancing together in women's attire, though they have got mustache and everything. And they are saying this is liberal, they are doing it because they are liberals. And next, that slide in which you are seeing so many slogans, many of it cannot be read publicly. In one of the lighting slogans, they are saying that, sorry to use that, how do my genitals affect you? The same thing was been asked by a Kerala communist girl to Sabarimala Ayyappa also. Sabarimala Ayyappa. With a photo she asked, why are you looking at there? Why? Who? Ayyappa. So against the religious belief system and everything there. How it is being propagated next through some films. I am giving you some posters of films. Aligarh, Margarita with a straw. These are some examples. Fire. एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा. Next slide. So some media and film, it is being propagated. Next, it has also been explained, so there is no need of explaining much. It is a sort of cancel culture. The permanent present culture is to be cancelled. So these type of activities are being done publicly. Next one, fourth. Cultural sensitivity and appropriation. Already it has been said that they are appropriating themselves with some minorities, creating an atmosphere counter agitation done by these Marxists and all, where only some age limit women are restricted from entering into Sabarimala. Women are as a whole are not allowed, not restricted. But in that agitation led by the communist people or cultural Marxist people, so many Muslim women in hijab participated. They are not ready to fight against this hijab culture. Hijab is our right. This has been said by communist people. They are always said. I don't know whether our chief minister has restricted those who are wearing hijab from schools. He has given a statement that no student can wear tilaka with dhaga and having their caste name. Okay, caste name, Rehna ya na Rehna, it is all. But what about the tilaka? Our identity. But they are with this hijab and everything. What is it? This is a scene from Ramayana. It's a strange drama staged by AIMS doctor students. In drama, in which Sita is going with Hanuman, Sita is being taken by, and Sita is offering something to Ravana and everything, all rubbish things were there and it is being staged there. Next, a new science has developed that is known as victimology. That also has been said, explained much in, I have said previously. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. That photo and George Floyd's sad demise and everything, you know. But it entered into Bharat in new forms, in the form of Kisan Sangharsha, farmers agitation, or restless agitation. New identities are emerging. Restless became a caste, and they have started their demand, and they became a front line leaders of Communist Party and cultural masses. You all addressed it and seen it. Next. There was a toolkit. It became a big news. This wokist and the cultural masses were behind this toolkit. On a fine morning, the social media trackers or the cyber police found out that a particular tweet was made by some particular person, and within no time, so many editings have happened in, and at last one final document has been made, and all of a sudden it disappeared. So the cyber police went after it and found out what all were conspired through that toolkit. When the January on 26th, what is to be done? Public direct action when it is to be done. Twitter fire when it is to be trended. All these matters were there, and directly asking the people to come to Delhi to participate or give support to the farmers' strike. That was there. And as a part of it, it has given a statement to attack main power centers, democratic power centers of Bharat, and this has been made by them. And another key components of what next, in push for diversity in media, it leads to tokenism, emphasizes quotas for quality. So I don't want to explain much, it is all self-explanatory. Again, Indian woke liberals, startups pack, so many things. Ideological leanings of Indian media houses, pass it on. Who all are left, who all are leaning towards left, who all are right, who all are leaning towards right, actual right is kone, that differentiation has been made. So, seventh one, calls for radical reforms such as defunding the police. One demand is defunding police. Police is not to be given, it is not necessary to give money to the functioning of police. Actually, this policing system is to be abolished. That's their ultimate aim. Abolishing prisons, it is to be opened. So now one woke sitting in Delhi, now got bail, and he is also asking for the abolishing of the jails. It is not needed, at least against me. No jail is needed. He already announced that I am an anarchist. Already he has announced. And he became chief minister. That's the plight of our nation. Manipulating free speech. We haven't got any right to make a speech. Mohanji Bhagat hasn't got any right to speak. But Arundhati Roy can speak any rubbish, anything. That is his right. This is the strange division. Okay, then. 8th one, educational curriculum changes. The incorporation of critical race theory in educational curricula. Mind it, in our educational institutions and universities, this critical theory has entered already. It is there. And it is highly controversial. Race, they are saying that it is a social construct. It promotes victimhood at everyone. Everything. Next. But all over Bharat, many of the European countries, the students have got the taste of this cultural Marxism, and they came forward and they are demanding no to CRT, critical race theory, no to hate. These type of activities have also started because you take it, because they found that we are in a way for our suicide. Recently Douglas Murray wrote a book in which the main title was Strange Death of Europe. Through this multiculturalism, cultural Marxism, and these wokeist invasions. So many books are there. Next, some slides only. Shabarimala case, this interfering the tradition, and the first, the example which I have given, annihilating Hinduism, that boy with the moustache and everything, wearing sari over his shirt and jeans, Asim Premji University, that is there. Then again, pass it on. That slide is not politically correct. Okay. And then ideological monopoly and terrorism, stakeholder capitalism, okay, pass it on. From sex education to gender education, our academic career and the curricula is being changed. No absolute concept of man. That slide has also been included here. Who said it? His picture has been said, though I haven't mentioned his name. Okay. And now the women also came out against this gender fluidity theory in Western nations. They have asked, they are now demanding no males in women's jails. And they are demanding, we want bathrooms for ourselves. These type of agitations also have started. It is a silver lining in all darkness, you can see. Next, how to counter them? How to counter them? Already it has been mentioned. Our challenge today is just as crucial and urgent, and in many ways. That's why these type of programs are being organized. It is more complicated also, there is no doubt. We did not ask for this confrontation, but it is here. And in truth, like the early days of Revolutionary War, we are losing. We are losing. Unfortunately, most of the country has been caught flat-footed and remains unengaged. So how to counter them? Next slide. Through education. We have to reclaim our age-old education system. I am not saying that Gurukula education system is to be replanted. but our culture and values of that education system is to be implemented with a very good blending of the modern education. So that education system is to be reclaimed. Then let's return for a moment to those areas of the campuses that are still relatively uncorrupted. That is STEM fields, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. We have to make some concerted effort on that STEM faculties and fields. Opening of new universities in favorable states. Now Rishihood University was started. Chanakya University was started. So many such universities are being started by nationalist thinkers. Just crying will not make any difference of this type of menace. We have to do something. So opening new universities in favorable states. Those who are sitting here must, some of you can easily think about such a movement in Chennai also. It is needed. Promote online courses on Bharatiya Jnana Parambara, Bharatiya knowledge system. Already Siddhanta and all are doing these type of things. It is to be propagated, it is to be supported, these type of online courses on different faculties of Bharatiya knowledge systems. It may be Shaivism, it may be Kashmiri Shaivism, it may be Tantra, it may be Yoga, it may be scientific study of Gita, it may be the scientific history of all our sciences. So we have to start. Corporate. Fortunate to hear that Deshiya Chintane Kadagam has concentrated their attention to that corporate field also. We have to do something negative also. Boycott corporate brand involved in woke propaganda. Woke propaganda. When Starbucks made that woke propaganda through their one tweet, wherein they have made a hashtag, all starts from your name. When Arpit became Arpita, it became a huge news. I haven't got much time. Many of you must have heard about that. That particular tweet became a very big fire in the social media. And another thing which already mentioned, you have to go to the people. Local art of democracy. So for that also some programs are to be conducted. There are must be explained. Thomas Sowell is an American thinker, philosopher and everything. He once said, ours may become the first civilization destroyed. He was saying about the American ancient culture. Ours may become the first civilization destroyed, not by the power of our enemies, but by the ignorance of our teachers and the dangerous nonsense they are teaching our children. So it is to be changed. It is our duty. Students must react to this type of education system. We are the consumers. We have got every right to ask, demand good products. So if some students came out, students organizations came out with this demand to have proper educational curriculum and lessons, that will be the beginning of the change of our nation. Otherwise, we are also going to face a huge danger. Thank you. Namaskar.
ஏதோ ஒரு ஹாரர் படத்தில் விட்டு வெளில வந்த மாதிரி. என் பையன் வந்து கொஞ்ச நாளைக்கு முன்னாடி, எங்கள் வீட்டில எல்லாம் தாடிலாம் வச்சுக்க மாட்டோம் சாதாரணமாக. என் பையன் வந்து தாடி விட்டுட்டு வந்தான். என்னடா இப்படிலாம் பண்ணக்கூடாது அப்படின்ட்டு எங்கள் அப்பா சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தார் அவர்கிட்ட. இதுதான்ப்பா இப்போ தாத்தா இப்போதான் இப்படி தான் இருக்கணும், நான் தாடிலாம் எடுக்க வாய்ப்பே இல்லை, சான்ஸே இல்லை அப்படின்னா. நோ, ஐ எம் ட்ரைங் டு ரிலேட் இட். Anyway, so before we begin some question and answers, Vigil and some of its Vigil allied organizations, this is exactly what we are trying to address. This is one aspect of our society. நம்ம மனசுல நிறைய கேள்விகள் இருக்கு, நிறைய வேலைகள் இருக்கு. நாளைக்கு எதிர்காலத்துக்கு ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு சமூகத்தை விட்டுட்டு நம்ம போகணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக தான் நம்ம இங்க எல்லாருமே உட்கார்ந்துருக்கோம். None of us are here are qualified to even get impacted by this woke stuff, primarily because from an age perspective. We'll know the binaries, நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும் எது ரைட் எது ராங் அப்படின்னு. But you know, we obviously have to work we are all here because we have a generation to take care of. அதுக்காக தான் இங்கே உட்கார்ந்து இருக்கோம். நிறைய வேலைகள் இன்னைக்கு சமுதாயத்தில் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சிந்தனை விஷயமாக நிறைய வேலைகள் செய்ய வேண்டியது இருக்கு. உங்களில் யாராவது இந்த விஷயத்தில் எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் நேரம், என்னுடைய அறிவு, என்னுடைய ஆற்றல் இந்த விஷயத்துக்காக என்னால் செலவழிக்க முடியும் அப்படின்னு முன்வரதுன்னா தயவு செஞ்சு இங்கே some of our volunteers are here. கொஞ்சம் தயவு செஞ்சு உங்களுடைய டீட்டெயில்ஸ் கொடுத்துட்டு போங்க so that we can reach out to you. We need people, we need their intellectual time. We desperately need, the society desperately needs, you know, your intelligence and therefore your time. Questions open. யாராவது கேள்வி கேட்கறதுனா வரலாம். But you have to come here to ask these questions. People can come here.
Thanks, Nandakumarji, for the wonderful presentation. The question is, are the Western nations conveniently using wokeism to hide their economic failures?
I don't think that all Western nations are using this wokeism as a guard or a mukhota or a mask to hide their economic failures. It is not a fact. It is a carpet statement. Yes, somewhere they are making use of. You cannot just imagine what all sort of masks are being used by America. We cannot just understand that. It may be there. But now, even the governments have started saying against it. Even the governments. See, in Italy and recently the Sweden Prime Minister have made openly statement against this multiculturalism and the cultural Marxism and all those things, though she was a Marxist in the beginning. So you cannot just make a carpet statement that it's all because of their economic failure. This is a narrative made by these cultural Marxists here and all those people. That's a narrative. That's why Douglas Murray, I have already told, he wrote a book about the death of Europe, strange death of Europe because of these attacks. He has already said. So it is there.
Okay, before the next question, இங்கே இந்த விஜில் உடைய ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் யாராவது ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணலைனால் கொஞ்சம் தயவு செஞ்சு ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணுங்க. இட் வில் ஹெல்ப் அஸ் ரீச் அவுட் டு யூ ஃபார் அவர் நெக்ஸ்ட் ப்ரோக்ராம்.
தேங்க்யூ சார். இப்போ நீங்கள் எவ்வளோ நேரம் விளக்குனீங்க, அந்த பவர் பாயிண்ட் மூலமாக நிறைய விஷயங்களை சொன்னீங்க. அதில் நம்ம நாட்டோட கலாச்சாரத்தை கெடுக்கிறவங்களெலாம் அவ்வளோ அருமையாக அனலைஸ் பண்ணி வச்சுருக்கீங்க. எனக்கு ஒரே ஒரு டவுட்டு தான். இப்போது 10 வருஷமாக நடக்கிறது நம்மளோட அரசாங்கம், பிஜேபியோட அரசாங்கம். இப்போ இருக்கிறது பிஜேபி அரசாங்கம். எவ்வளோ இதில் கேள்விப்படுறோம். வெளிநாடுகளில் கூட நம்ம நாட்டுக்கு எதிரானவர்கள் வந்து மர்மமான முறையில் கொல்லப்படுறாங்க. ஏன் வந்து அதை இந்தியாவில் செயல்படுத்தக்கூடாது? இவங்ககிட்ட நம்ம பேசி தான் திருத்த போகிறோமா? இவங்களாம் இல்லாத போனால் என்ன? நம்ம உளவு அமைப்புகள் மூலமாக, இராணுவம் மூலமாக எவ்வளோ விஷயம் இருக்குது. இவங்களாம் ஃபினிஷ் பண்ணிட்டு போயிடலாமே. இது ஏன் நம்ம செய்ய மாட்டேங்கிறோம்?
See, it's very easy thing which you can ask. See, ours a vast nation. Can each and every aspect being done by a government? These are all happening in your village. What a government can do? These are all happening in each and every institutions. What a central government can do if in Tamil Nadu, these type of some activities which has been supported by, you know, from where they are getting support here. So then a new form of agitation will entering into our federal rights. You are entering, you are encroaching to our, and it is further strengthening their demand. So, okay, I can what you say, reach your complaint to the concerned persons. Just as a postman, I am not anyone who can control these type of things, but one thing, these opinions can be reached there. So I can send, but main work is to be done by ourselves. That is why we are organizing this program. We have to do some discussions in our area, in our mohalla. All these things are not visible, may not be visible in your village, or in your street, or in your college, or in your university. But there are something. In some write-ups, these type of aspects may be there. So you can show the public, the readers, that this is a dangerous trend. So some opposition, at least. See, I on and often quote Martin Luther King, that all these things are happening not because this the number and strength of bad peoples. It is only because of the silence of the good people. It is the silence of the good people. We are keeping mum. That's why it is happening. So government has, yes, they have got the, they are duty conscious. They must be duty conscious. They have to do something. There is no doubt about that. Some things are being done by them also. Many of it may be that public, and we are all aware about that. They are doing it. But the majority of the works are to be done by the common populace, common people, common society. From our side, we have to do.
Namaste ji. I am Professor Jairam, working in a highly woke university by name Kriya. Right. So I have been having a running battle with the authorities there for 7 years now, since its inception. Now the problem is twofold, sir. I would request a solution. I know it is not a straightforward solution to be given. The problem is this. The first thing is, we find that in almost every so-called liberal university, the funding is being done by industrialists, many of whom profess to have a closeness to our own ideology and not the woke ideology that is being propagated to these universities. One name I can take, Anand Mahindra for example, or Kiran Mazumdar Shah. Now if you see these people, they help open Kriya, they also help open Chanakya. Now, what is the solution here? First point. Second is, the concept of liberal education and interwoven education propagated under the new education policy has led to a scenario wherein the entire space has been occupied by JNU and AMU guys. I can vouch for it from personal experience. All those now out of government institutions, they have all been rehabilitated here. Has the government missed a trick here by not creating the infrastructure, the kind of universities to propagate our ideology, and instead just focused on this interwoven and so-called liberal education, thereby providing a space for all the anti-national elements? So these are the two questions I want to address.
See, this corporate influences and those who are engaged in propaganda are to be faced properly. That part was also there. I have said that one thing, they are to be exposed. Already this type of open confrontation against those people who propagate or support this woke stuff and woke elements are being confronted by our organization, or many of the this and one of our major institutions, the corporate house, have supported it, and we have questioned them, exposed them, fought against them. And I am not saying that completely they have surrendered, but they were mellowed down. And another thing I have mentioned is, we as a people identify those who are supporting these type of elements are to be opposed. We have to boycott them also. I am not saying is it possible or not. We have to try. We have boycotted British government also. So in this time, when we are talking about Swadeshi agitation to be started again, Sangha has given a specific direction to all their Swayamsevaks and sympathizers that we must concentrate upon Pancha Parivartana. In that, one point is you have to restart the Swadeshi movement again. So it also includes that part also. Whoever it may be Asim Premji, or maybe Sudharam Murthy, or someone Mahendra, whoever it may. But we